I'd been staring at the same map for an hour and still couldn't make sense of it. The rain hadn't stopped all morning, and it was starting to soak through the open window frame, turning the paper soft at the edges. Sam was at the table, across from me, flashlight in hand, shaking it like she could argue it back to life. "Tell me, that's not our only one," she said. "It is," I told her. "The good one died in Virginia." Mia laughed from the couch. She was wrapped in a blanket that smelled faintly like smoke from the motel fire. "Maybe if someone hadn't thrown it at a demon," she said. Sam shot her a look. "Yeah, hilarious. When we find Chris, he's buying us a box of these." I went back to the map and drew a circle around a town name, Mansfield. The pen left a small bleed in the paper. "He said the coordinates twice," I said. "Once at the motel, once in the recording." Mia leaned forward, eyes tracing the red mark. "You think he's there? I think he wanted us to go there." The rain picked up against the roof, filling the quiet between us. Mia got up and started clearing the takeout boxes off the counter. She stacked them one by one, neat as always. I could tell she needed something to do with her hands. "You really think he'd go back near them?" she asked. After everything that happened, Sam didn't look up. Her laptop screen threw light across her face, code scrolling past. "If the signal's right, there's a transmitter still active near the old prison. He'd want to reach it." I pushed the map away. My eyes burned from lack of sleep. "We almost died because of his last idea," I said. Mia turned, still holding one of the empty boxes. "You still would have followed him." She wasn't wrong. I didn't answer. Sam's typing filled the silence until her computer beeped once, short, sharp, and new. Sam froze, eyes fixed on the screen. "That wasn't from me," she said. "What is it?" I asked, moving beside her. Her voice dropped. "A text." She turned the laptop toward me. The message had no name attached, just a number we didn't recognize. "Don't come here yet. It's not safe." Mia stepped closer. "Is that him?" "It has to be," I said. My stomach tightened. "He used that same phrase in the motel, remember?" Sam scrolled down. There was a second message, time-stamped 5 minutes later. "If you need to find me, start where they used to keep the ghosts." None of us spoke for a long time. Then Mia whispered, "That's the reformatory." She was right. Chris had grown up an hour from there. I looked at the map again, tracing the old route north. "They run tours after midnight," I said. "If we get tickets, we can look around without anyone asking questions." Sam twisted in her seat, looking back at Mia. "Okay, I have to know, how did you two actually meet?" "You never tell that story right." Mia smiled at me. "Because he edits the embarrassing parts out. That's called self-respect," I said. She rolled her eyes. "Fine. It was at a gas station outside Duluth. I was filling up and this guy," she pointed at me, "decides to help. He grabs the pump, trips on the curb, and splashes gas all over his boots." Sam burst out laughing. "Romantic. I was trying to be helpful," I said. "You try walking it off with lighter fluid in your shoes." Mia shook her head. "He pretended it didn't hurt, stood there grinning like an idiot while his jeans started to smoke." "I was making conversation," I said. "You looked impressed. I was deciding if I needed to call the fire department." Sam wiped her eyes, still laughing. "And that worked?" Mia glanced at me. "He asked for my number before the pain set in. I figured he earned it." "See?" I said. Confidence under pressure. Sam leaned her chin on her knee. "Chris tried something like that once. My car was making a noise, and he swore he could fix it. He opened the hood, stared at it forever, then said, 'Yeah, that's definitely a noise.'" Mia laughed. "That sounds like him." "Yeah," Sam said quietly. "He wasn't handy, but he always showed up when it mattered." The smile slipped from her face, and the car went quiet for a few seconds. Mia reached across and touched her shoulder. "He still will, Sam. He's just figuring things out." Sam nodded but didn't answer. I kept my eyes on the road, the wipers tapping in time with my heartbeat. "He's still out there," I said. "And when we find him, He's buying dinner for all of us. Mia smiled. Including gas money for your next disaster date. Fair, I said. But I'm driving. Mia leaned back with a smug smile. You're driving, but I'm picking the music. Deal, I said. As long as we skip the part where you try to sing. Sam grinned. You sing? Oh, she sings, I said. She once did karaoke at a bowling alley in front of 30 people. Mia groaned. Please don't. She picked that old 80s song. What was it? Total Eclipse of the Heart, she said, covering her face. Yeah, and she missed the high notes so bad the microphone squealed and died. Whole place went silent. She just stood there, bowed, and walked off like she meant to kill it. Sam laughed so hard she had to grip the dash. You didn't. She did, I said. People actually clapped. One guy yelled encore, probably out of fear. Mia dropped her hands, laughing now too. And you still asked me out after that? Of course, I said. Confidence under pressure. Remember? Confidence, she said. You brought me a beer and said, you seem like someone who likes warm drinks. Sam nearly choked. That was your line? Worked, didn't it? I said. Mia smirked. Barely. The laughter faded as the wipers kept their slow rhythm. Sam brushed a strand of hair from her face. I miss when things were that simple, she said. They will be again, Mia said. Maybe, I said, once we find him. Sam nodded, looking back out the window. Then let's actually do it this time. Make everything sound like a bad idea worth trying, Sam said again, shaking her head. That should be our group motto. Mia laughed. I think it already is. We just never made the t-shirts. I'd buy one, I said. Except it would probably burst into flames the second I put it on. That's the spirit, Sam said. Perfect for tonight. Mia leaned forward between the seats. How close are we? About 10 minutes, I said. You'll know it when you see it. Sam checked her phone. Midnight tour starts in 4 hours. We could grab food first. Mia smiled. Or sleep. Remember sleep? Not since Virginia, Sam said. Pretty sure it's a myth. I pointed through the windshield. There, past that sign. Sam squinted. That's it? I thought it would look creepier. It will, I said. Give it time. Mia crossed her arms. So what's the plan? We pretend to be tourists until everyone leaves. That's the idea. We walk the place, see if anything feels off, then wait for the crowd to clear. Sam looked at me. And if we find him? I didn't answer right away. Then we bring him home, I said finally. Sam didn't say anything for a while. She just watched the building grow larger through the windshield, its windows catching bits of light from the street lamps. Home, she said finally. Feels like a word we keep losing. Mia reached for the door handle. Then maybe it's time we take it back. She said it like a joke, but her voice caught just a little at the end. We parked near the edge of the lot, where the gravel met the pavement. A few other cars were already there, their headlights cutting across the front steps of the building. Sam grabbed her jacket from the back seat and pulled the hood up. You realize we're early, right? That's the point, I said. Less crowd. More ghosts, Mia added. See? I said. Everybody wins. As we walked toward the entrance, a woman with a clipboard waved from the top of the stairs. She had a headset, a name badge, and the kind of practice smile people use when they've said the same thing too many times. Midnight group? She asked. Yeah, I said. We're early. That's all right, she said. You can wait inside the foyer. Just, try not to wander off yet. Sam looked at me. That's comforting. She says that to all the idiots, I said. We followed her inside. The echo of our footsteps carried longer than it should have. The air was cooler, thick with dust, and something metallic that clung to the back of my throat. Mia glanced around at the tall ceilings and rusted railings. You'd think they'd clean this place up a little. Sam raised her phone, taking a picture. Don't, I said. Why not? Because you're going to see something you don't want to explain. Sam lowered her phone. Fine. I'll just take mental pictures. Good, I said. Those don't show shadows. She smiled. You're hilarious. Mia elbowed me. Be nice. She's coping. The guide came back a few minutes later, headset mic crackling. All right, everyone. Welcome to the Ohio State Reformatory. We'll be starting in just a moment. Bathrooms are down the hall. Gift shop closes at midnight. And please, no wandering off the marked path. A man in the back muttered, "That's what they all say before people disappear." The guide laughed politely, but it didn't sound real. Mia leaned close. You hear that? What? I asked. The echo. It's off. Like the walls are too far away for how small this room is. I listened. She was right. Every sound seemed to hang a half-second too long before dying out. Another group came in behind us, a mix of couples and college kids, their voices bouncing around the room. Sam folded her arms. If Chris was here, he'd hate this, she said. He'd be outside, Mia said, smoking, pretending not to be scared. Yeah, I said. Then he'd come in 5 minutes later, because he didn't want to be alone. That made them both smile. The guide clapped her hands once. All right, folks, we'll start in cell block East. Sam leaned close as we fell in with the group. Bet that's where the coughing ghost lives. Great, I said. Maybe he'll give us a tour instead. Sam hung close behind the guide, reading from her phone as we followed the group down a narrow hallway. Okay, so I found the story, she said, keeping her voice low. Back in the 90s, some college kids broke in here to film a fake exorcism. 2 of them didn't make it out. One that did ended up working for Vail for a while. Mia frowned. You're kidding. Nope, Sam said. His notes mention a name, Malphus. Said it fed on guilt until it became the person wearing it. The last thing any of them wrote on the walls was one sentence. What sentence? I asked. She looked up. The sin remembers. That shut both of us up for a minute. Mia glanced at the others in the group ahead. You think that's what Chris wanted us to find? I think he knew this place was tied to Vail, Sam said. And if they couldn't contain it, maybe he thought we could. The guide's voice echoed from the front. On your left, you'll see the original isolation wing. Please, stay behind the rope, Mia muttered. Yeah, no problem. I tried to laugh, but it came out dry. If anything in there remembers me, we're leaving. Sam nodded. Deal. The corridor opened into a wide chamber lined with cells. The lights flickered once, buzzing faintly overhead. Someone in the group coughed, and for half a second it sounded like 2 people had done it at once. Mia gave me a look. Probably the acoustics, I said. Sure, she said. Or not. The guide led us down another corridor, her voice bouncing between the concrete walls. This area housed inmates in solitary confinement. Some of them spent years here without seeing daylight. A woman near the back whispered, That explains the smell. The guide chuckled like she'd heard it before, but her hand twitched on the flashlight. The man walking beside us, mid-30s, black jacket, wedding ring, stopped to peer into one of the empty cells. You ever think about what it's like, being forgotten? He asked no one in particular. Mia glanced at me, eyebrows raised. That's cheerful. He didn't look away from the cell. They said they could hear each other breathing through the vents. Said the walls remember. Sam frowned. The walls? He turned toward her, eyes unfocused. The sin remembers. My stomach tightened. The guide laughed nervously. All right, let's keep moving. But the man didn't. He just stood there, hand resting against the bars, whispering something I couldn't make out. The rest of the group filed past, pretending not to notice. Mia tugged my sleeve. We're not just going to leave him, are we? He's probably drunk, I said. On what? Haunted air? Sam stepped closer to the man. Sir? You okay? He blinked, like he'd just woken up. Yeah, he said. Yeah, I'm fine. But when he smiled, there was blood on his teeth. The man wiped his mouth with the back of his hand, like he didn't even feel the blood. Guess I bit my tongue, he said. The guide hesitated, flashlight trembling slightly. Happens sometimes. Air's dry. Sam looked at me. Dry air doesn't do that. Let's just keep walking, I said quietly. We followed the group into another hall, lined with peeling paint and rusted cell doors. The man trailed behind us now, his footsteps uneven. Every so often, he'd whisper something under his breath, fragments of words that didn't fit together. "Do you hear that?" Mia asked. "Yeah," I said. Sam frowned. "He's repeating us." I listened. She was right. A few seconds after anyone spoke, he'd echo bits of it like a bad recording catching up. The guide turned to point out an old maintenance room, but her words caught when the lights flickered. Just for a heartbeat, everything went dim, and in that gap, his voice came from ahead of us instead of behind. "The sin remembers," he said softly. Every head turned. He was standing at the far end of the corridor, back to us, both hands pressed flat against the wall. Mia grabbed my arm. "He was behind us," she whispered. "Yeah," I said. My throat felt tight. I saw. Sam's voice was low. "Tyler, look at his hands." Dark streaks spread from his palms down the wall, thick and wet, like something bleeding through the paint. The guide's voice cracked first. "Sir, I need you to step back, please." He didn't move. His fingers twitched against the wall like he was feeling for something inside it. The blood, or whatever it was, kept running down to the floor. "Okay," I said, stepping forward. "Let's give him some air." Mia grabbed my arm. "Tyler, it's fine," I whispered, though it wasn't. I stopped a few feet away. His breathing sounded strange, like there were two people exhaling at once. "Hey," I said. "You're okay. You just need to step away." He turned his head toward me slowly. His eyes looked the wrong. Not white, not rolled back, just distant. Like they were focused on something behind me. "I can hear him," he said. "Who?" I asked. He smiled, small and sharp. "You." Someone gasped behind me. Sam's voice came next, steady but quiet. "Tyler, move." The guide started fumbling for her radio, hands shaking. "We need security in corridor east." The man spun so fast, she dropped it. His mouth opened, and for a split second the sound that came out wasn't a scream. It was a chorus layered voices. Old, male, whispering the same line. "The sin remembers." The rest of the group panicked, some backing into the walls, others running for the stairs. The guide froze, eyes wide. I pulled Mia behind me and grabbed Sam's sleeve. "We're leaving." "Where?" she said. "Anywhere that's not here." As we turned, every light in the hallway went dark. Sam's phone was the only light left. The glow caught streaks of red on the wall, wet, uneven, still fresh. "Flashlight," I said. She turned it on, and the beam found the smeared words again. "The sin remembers." Mia stepped back. "That wasn't here before." "I know," Sam said. Her voice was flat. The air changed as we moved forward. It wasn't colder, just heavier, harder to breathe. The smell hit next. Sharp, sulfur, and burnt dust. It clung to the back of my throat. "Do you smell that?" Mia whispered. "Yeah," I said. "Don't talk." Sam raised the light toward the next doorway, but the beam bent across empty space like it was hitting smoke. Then a voice spoke from the dark. Low, steady, too close to place. "Who carries the weight tonight?" Mia froze. "What?" "Don't answer it," Sam said. The voice came again, softer now. "You left them. In Wisconsin. You ran before the fire stopped." My chest went tight. Mia turned toward me, eyes wide. "It's lying," she said quickly. "You know it's lying." Sam gripped her shoulder. "Don't look at him. Don't listen." The voice chuckled one short sound, more breath than laugh. "You wear your sins well." I moved before I could think, grabbed Sam's arm and shoved her toward the door. "Get her out," I said. "Tyler, go." The man's smile dropped. His eyes rolled white for half a second. Then he lunged. I caught him square in the chest and drove him back against the bars. The sound was pure metal and bone. He screamed, but the voice that came out wasn't his. It was deeper, raw, layered with too many mouths. "You can't carry all of them. Watch me," I said. I shoved harder. Something cracked. Maybe his ribs. Maybe mine. Mia screamed my name. "Run!" I yelled again. "Now!" Sam grabbed her and dragged her down the corridor. The flashlight beam swung wildly across the walls, catching red smears, handprints, and the word "remembers" scratched again and again. The man's hands clawed at my shirt, stronger than they should have been. His eyes rolled back again, but I held him there, pressing until the light faded from behind him. His body went limp, heavy. For a moment, everything was quiet, except my breathing. Then a whisper came from right beside my ear, cold and close. "You can't kill guilt." I stumbled back, chest heaving, and the body slumped to the floor. The sulfur smell thickened until it burned my eyes. I turned to run, but the hallway was gone.
We ran until the light on my phone started to fade. The corridor twisted twice, then dropped into a narrow stairwell that felt 100 years old. I could still hear Tyler yelling behind us. Then it stopped. Mia froze on the landing, chest heaving. "We have to go back." "He told us to run," I said. "He's not dead." I swallowed hard. "You didn't see what I saw." She shook her head, crying now. "You don't leave the person you love." Her voice cracked, echoing up the concrete walls. I grabbed her by the shoulders. "If we die here, he dies for nothing. Do you understand me?" She covered her mouth, trying to breathe. "Then what do we do?" "Keep moving," I said. "Find a way out. Find the others. Just keep moving." The stairwell opened into a lower hall that smelled of sulfur and burnt wood. The walls were blackened, streaked with soot that hadn't been there before. Mia stepped ahead, my light catching her face, torn between hope and dread. At the far end, a door waited, edges warped and charred. She whispered, "He's here." I caught her wrist, "Don't." But she kept walking, hand trembling as it reached for the latch. Mia's fingers brushed the metal, and it was hot. She jerked back with a hiss. "Don't touch it," I said. "There's someone in there." I shook my head. "That's what it wants you to think." But she was already leaning closer, ear to the door. The sound came faint and broken, like a voice underwater. "Help," it said. "Please." My stomach twisted. It sounded like him. "Mia," I whispered, "step away." She shook her head, tears streaking her face. "That's Tyler. He's alive." "It's copying him." She grabbed the latch, then let me find out. I backed up as she pulled. The metal screamed against the frame, the smell of sulfur pouring through the crack. A wave of heat hit us, thick enough to sting. The light on my phone flickered once, then steadied. Inside, the air shimmered like heat off asphalt. "Tyler?" Mia called. Something moved in the dark, a shadow that didn't match the light. Then his voice came again, quiet, broken. "Sam, don't let it touch her." The shadow in the room shifted, and the heat surged. The smell of sulfur turned sharp, electric. Mia froze in the doorway, light catching her face. She couldn't move. Something inside was pulling toward her, like air rushing out of the world. Then I saw it, a shape crawling out of the dark, fast and low, hands hitting the floor first, eyes too bright, skin slick with sweat or blood. I couldn't tell. "Mia!" I grabbed her arm, but she didn't hear me. The thing rose up from the floor, taller now, its mouth opening too wide, the sound coming out more growl than voice. "The sin," it started. Something slammed into it from the side, hard enough to shake dust from the ceiling. Both bodies crashed against the far wall. The sound was bones, concrete, and rage. Mia stumbled back into me, screaming. I pulled her behind the doorframe as the flashlight beam swung wildly, catching pieces, fur, claws, a flash of teeth, movement too fast to track. The sulfur burned out, replaced by something else, wet fur, copper, and heat. I couldn't see its face, but when the creature turned its head, I felt the recognition hit like a punch. "Chris," I whispered. The thing pinned the demon to the floor, a guttural sound tearing out of its throat, half animal, half human. Mia's hands covered her mouth. "Oh my God," she said. "That's him." The sound filled the hall, bones snapping, a low, wet growl that didn't sound possible. The demon twisted under him, screeching words I couldn't understand. The walls shook with every impact. Then it went still. Chris, if it was still Chris, staggered back, chest heaving, claws slick with something that hissed against the floor. Mia tried to move toward him. I caught her arm. "Don't!" She shook me off. "He saved us." "He's not done saving us yet." Chris turned at the sound of her voice. His eyes caught the light, gold for a heartbeat, then black again. His breathing was ragged, every inhale a growl he was swallowing back down. "Chris," I said quietly, "it's us." For a second, I thought he knew. Then he stepped back, pressing a clawed hand to the wall like he was holding himself upright. The skin along his arm shifted, muscle flickering under it like something trying to crawl free. Mia took a step closer. "Please," she whispered, "you're okay. You're home." He looked at her. Just one sharp, broken sound came out. Then he slammed his fist into the wall hard enough to crack the concrete and stumbled toward the far end of the room. "Chris!" she yelled. But he didn't stop. He vanished into the dark, leaving the sulfur stench behind and the silence that comes after something living leaves. Mia was still staring at the spot where Tyler had vanished, eyes glassy, chest heaving. "We have to find him," she said. I can't lose him again." I didn't have anything to say to that. The words felt too small. "He's alive," I told her finally. "You'd know if he wasn't." She nodded, but the way she said, "He has to be," sounded like a prayer. We stood there for a moment, listening to the building settle. The air was colder now, the sulfur gone, replaced by the faint smell of rain drifting through some broken window. I wiped my palms on my jeans. They were still shaking. Mia looked at me. "What about Chris?" I swallowed hard. "He saved us." "That wasn't him, Sam." "Yeah," I said quietly. "It was." We started walking, following the faint glow of an exit sign. The light flickered, catching dust in the air. Mia kept her hand close to the wall, like she needed something solid to hold on to. "You really think we'll find them?" I glanced down the dark corridor where Chris had disappeared. "We have to. Tyler's out there somewhere, and Chris—" I stopped. "He's still fighting." Mia nodded once, like she believed it for both of us. Then we pushed through the door into the cold night.